Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking Gear, showing you guys a new piece of gear that just came out today. This is the Springfield Armory Echelon. This is Springfield Armory's latest addition that is definitely through and through catered to be LE, law enforcement, and just duty oriented. And that's kind of apparent just when you look at it a little bit longer and definitely when you shoot it. That being said, it follows the recipe of standard duty pistols in that it is a polymer frame, striker fire, double stack 9mm. Comes with 2 magazines. It's a 17 round standard, and then with the extended base pad, this one's goes up to 20 rounds. Let's talk about the slide real quickly. They are all optic cut with what Springfield Armory is calling VIS, V-I-S, or Variable Interface System. It's pretty cool. That's actually one of my biggest takeaways with this gun. No plates needed. There's Delta Point Pro footprints. There's RMR footprints, all this other stuff. This has holes for all of it, and little holes for like the locking spigot things as well. I'm sure there's a term for them. But yeah, those little locking tabs. So it's cut for all of them with no adapters. So over 30 red dots of the most common ones can fit on this slide. Again, no adapters. So that's cool. Now I'm just wondering why more guns aren't that way, even from Springfield themselves. One of my favorite pistols they offer is the Prodigy. And I would like to see that system in there to where no adapters needed. Just throw on whatever red dot you want. I really like that. So yeah, big selling point on the slide right there. Now moving down to the frame of the pistol, something that Springfield Armory is calling the Central Control Group. This gun, I'll stop right there actually. I see it as a cross between a few things. I don't think it's necessarily anything new. It's just a cross of a lot of other features duty pistols have. Just looking at the side silhouette of it and how boxy it is, I see a lot of Glock going on here. Seeing this little tab right here, I see a little SIG P320, the way that you push the trigger control through the lower, or the frame rather, that is the central control group. Because just like on a P320, with the Echelon, you can take the serialized control group, the trigger control group, out of the frame because the frame is not the serialized item. You can go ahead and buy these and ship them to your door. In fact, there's 3 different sizes of the grip modules, we'll call it, alone, large, medium, and small. And so with that being said, you could just buy those, have them shipped to your door, and the serialized part is the trigger control group, which can just plop into new frames or grip modules, much like a P320. And so that's where I see that P320-esque, same kind of like little pin that you would see here, while still looking very Glock-like, but also has features that neither of those do that I think are cool on the Echelon. One of those being the VIS system we already talked about. So that's pretty cool. Now, like I said, you have those 3 sizes of the grip modules, but in addition to that, you also can swap out 3 different sizes to these little back straps here. So I'll go ahead and showcase that. You do that by pushing with no mag here, push down with my index finger to release a little bit of the tension. There we go. So this is the medium grip. You can see that little pin running through it as well. So we go ahead and depress a little pressure here and slide it up. I will say though, just from sliding it up, it doesn't necessarily like click into place. It can still slide down. So you kind of have to slap it like it owes you money. Now it's in there. All right, so that's the medium grip in there on the frame that came out of the box. And for me, works out pretty nice. So at the end of the day, it's still a striker fire pistol. So let's talk about the trigger. It's no 1911, it's no 2011, no Prodigy, nothing like that. It is a striker fire trigger, so it still feels it, but it is on a flat face there, which makes it quite nice. Now, I've felt other striker fire triggers that are significantly worse, so this is definitely just a duty trigger on a flat face, so it feels good. But it's, again, that break's not too bad, but I'd say I'm more impressed with the reset. It happens pretty quickly and it's very light, so then again, I bet you guys didn't think I would just be spending this review just writing home about the trigger. It is a duty pistol. It doesn't seem to scream anything special to me, but it's far from bad, certainly. I think I prefer it ever so slightly to like a Glock trigger, but it's nicer in the sense that it's on that flat face, not that little hinge system. Not a fan of that. Long story short, for what this gun is supposed to do, I like the trigger. All the controls are ambi. So let's go ahead and start with the slide stop. I'll push it off to the left side, but the slide stop, slide release is also on the right here. Let's go ahead and put a mag in it. I could release the mag on the left side and the right side as well. You don't have to swap that button off to the side. It's on both. Also, when you go ahead and break the gun apart, it's the exact same way as I think all the polymer frame stuff from Springfield, also the same as the P320. Go ahead and lock this to the back and then swivel this thing all the way down like so. But that piece in itself actually kind of barely flares out, and there's a nice texture to it, so you could just rest your thumb on that if you're a right-handed shooter anyway, and it makes it a very nice contact point. So that was pretty well thought out. All the grip in general is actually very well thought out. I'm going out of order here. You guys might be wondering why it's OD green. I did in fact spray paint that, so I'll throw a little footage of that. It started out black. Their only offering is black with this pistol, but you know me and my ODs, I like it. So went ahead and spray painted it. Thought I'd mention that in case you guys were wondering why there's no OD green offerings on the Springfield Armory website. I just like to bring spray paint to things that maybe shouldn't be spray painted, but oh well. Let's go back to the top real quickly, the slide. Again, like I said, kind of looks Glock-ish, but has something I like way over Glocks, and that is the amount of serrations, and not just serrations, but the overall shape of it. So we got these serrations up here that do their job very, very well. Nice to grab onto. But right here, it flares out so nicely to where it's not only just a great gripping point, but when you grab it further up, it makes the whole pistol seem thinner than it is. But yeah, this grab point here just makes it so easy to manipulate. And at the very end here by the rear sights, it also flares out once again. Almost like the Smith & Wesson EZ line. In case you guys happen to have one of those, then there's that comparison. But in case not, just I'll try to get some B-roll. It flares out right by those sights to where it's just so easy to grab onto. Or you could go ahead and just put on a tough optic like this. This is an RMR with a 3 1/4 MOA dot. This is the Type 2. And you can just go ahead and rack that onto a table or anything like that because they'll just take it. So there's that as well. Let's talk about the sights here. This is the standard model of Echelon. Like I said, all of them come with optics cut. But the standard model in that the rear sight is just a white painted U, and the front sight is tritium with a little bit of that like fiber optics-ness that it glows nice day and night is what I'm trying to say. There's another option that has tritium front and back, and then another option is tritium front and back and a threaded barrel. So those are the 3 offerings right now. And of those 3 offerings, I'm gonna have to look at my cheat sheet for pricing. It is $679, $719, and then $739 at the top end with a threaded barrel and the 3 tritium. That's MSRP. They might sell for MSRP in the first month while these guns are new, but MSRP is usually in the name, suggested retail price. That should drop to where they'll be selling for quite a bit under that in no time, I would imagine. As you guys see this, without the light and the RMR, $679 MSRP. And in case I forgot to mention that, mine's got an RMR and a Surefire X300. So that really screams what the purpose of this is. I think this is really derived to be a duty pistol. Where you're seeing a lot of Glocks and even P320s fill the role, I think Springfield Armory just wanted a dog in that fight, and I think that is the Echelon for them. Which is interesting in that I could see why maybe the Prodigy's not getting adapted because maybe not all agencies want a hammer fire metal frame gun. But from someone like myself who's just a recreational plinker, I love that. It's my favorite pistol they have. But I could understand why the Striker Fire polymer frame stuff is still like the go-to for LE. But Springfield Armory has got an offering, and that is the XDM Elite. But maybe they don't need something like that. Maybe it's too big, big old flared mag well, all that. So this was that happy medium or just a more optimized fighting pistol is the way I see it. But let me know what you guys think about it. If you guys had one of these, how would it fit your role? Would it be something that you would try to everyday carry even though it's full size? Would it be a nightstand gun, just a ranged toy? Let me know. But I think this is their dog in the fight for trying to be a law enforcement duty sidearm is what I take from it. So that being said, let's go ahead and segue into the shooting. I only did a little bit of shooting, a few mags through it, and no hiccups, as you would imagine. I think these things are going to be really reliable, even though they're new. That's just my hunch feeling anyway. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of the shooting footage real quickly, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. See how sighted in it is. Seems to be on the money. About the recoil impulse I expected from a polymer frame Striker Fire. It's no 2011 by any means, or even Prodigy by that standard, but then again, I think a Prodigy tries to do something that this does not, and vice versa. This is more duty oriented, and well, it feels it. All right, so as I said in that video, it really didn't feel like anything I haven't felt before. If you've shot a nice Glock 19 or 17 or something like that, or plenty of other duty-oriented striker fire polymer frame pistols, recoil, impulse, all that stuff, it's about the same. So that being said, it's not a bad thing. It's just a very, very duty-focused pistol, and so I think that's what you're getting when you get an Echelon. So, like I said, they're brand new. I only have a limited time with mine, but if I had a feeling, they're going to be pretty reliable. I think you're getting features from, let's say, Glock that you really like, in that it's internal safeties, not a whole lot of buttons to press and go wrong, really just a reliable operating system. But you have the interchangeability of trigger groups like you do with the P320, a better optic system than both of those things have. So I think it was Springfield really just kind of studying the field and then just making a slightly better version of all of that. I think that's what they got with the Echelon. So that being said, there is the quick review. If you guys think I missed any information, let me know. We'll go ahead and touch base once we get to a higher round count. That would make most sense. I thought I'd give you guys a quick look on the day it came out. So there you go, Springfield Armory Echelon. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.